Welcome back to Astrology, Angels, and More. I'm Mary Silvernail, your host, and we have a wonderful show tonight for you with lots of information, a ton of information. And first off, to begin, I just wanted to talk about a few things astrologically, and then we're going to really get heavy duty into the angels, all the angels. But happy Valentine's Day. This show is being taped on February the 13th. 2020, and tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I wish you all a lot of love. Now, I wanted to say that we're going to be dealing with Mercury Retrograde on February 17th, and it'll be going direct on March 10th. So what that means simply, it isn't anything scary at all. All it is that it's just best to confirm appointments if you have appointments, because you could have a miscommunication about the time of the appointment. Best not to book flights or something during that time, only because you might have a delay. That's all it's about. And it is really best that you double check any contracts, cross all the T's, dot all the I's in reference to any contracts during that period of time. But Mercury goes retrograde like 3 or 4 times a year, and it's just a time, actually, it's a really good time to get all your ducks in a row and to set things up for when it goes direct, so that you can put your plans in action and have them go full force so that you're prepared. It's just a time of preparation. That's really all it is. People get very frightened by Mercury retrograde, but there's no reason to. And so then also what we have coming up is on February the 23rd, we're going to be having the Pisces new moon, and that's wonderful. It will bring great insight, especially to focus on any of your long-term plans. And you could expect an unexpected opportunity to come your way from an unusual source. But once you have all the aspects aligned perfectly right after this new moon in Pisces, you will see that everything will become crystal clear for you, much clearer than it had been before. You see, the planet Neptune has been in the sign of Pisces for quite a while now, so it causes some confusion. But right after this Pisces new moon, things should really be a little bit clearer for you. And expect some changes that will happen right after this new moon in a very positive way. Because the aspects of this Pisces new moon, especially with Mercury, the planet Mercury, gives opportunity to engage with others that you never would have had the ability to engage with before. And that can offer opportunities so that you can fulfill your dreams. And then we have on March the 9th, we'll be experiencing the Virgo full moon, which brings into opposition perfectionism of Virgo and the dreaminess of Pisces. So it's kind of like a combination of both, which is unique. And orderliness can go right out the window at that time, so don't get frustrated with yourselves if things just seem to be disorganized and things like that, because everything will just fall right back in, especially with the fact that this particular full moon, this Virgo full moon, has very nice aspects to the stellium of Capricorn that I've spoken about before on this show. That's very prominent in the heavens, but this is a very positive aspect of this, because it's really a beautiful time to meet someone halfway. If you've been having an opposition with someone and you can't come to a conclusion, this would be a great time to do it at the time of the Virgo full moon. And also what I wanted to mention is that we're coming into the time of Pisces right now. When this show is being filmed, it's Aquarius. The sun is in Aquarius. But Pisces is coming along here on the 18th. The sun will be in Pisces. And Pisces is the 12th and the final sign of the zodiac. And Neptune is its ruling planet. Now, Pisces gemstones are turquoise, sugilite, and sugilite is a deep purple stone. And that stone, actually, it's called the premier love stone. So even stronger than rose quartz. And rose quartz, a lot of people realize that rose quartz is wonderful in reference to love, but sugilite is absolutely great. The thing is that Pisceans are highly intuitive, and many possess, I have found over the years that many possess the gift of prophetic dreaming, meaning that a Piscean can have a dream and then it will actually come to pass. It's a wonderful thing. I've watched this in many Pisceans that I know, and it's tremendous. So if you're a Pisces, really keep track of your dreams because they can come true. And but they're very dreamy, creative, and sensitive people, and great lovers of art and poetry. And I just want to wish all you Pisceans a beautiful, beautiful birthday this year, 2020. And now we're going to start talking about angels. But boy, I have a wonderful guest here tonight. And let me tell you, he's an expert on angels. And I'm just thrilled that he's here to talk with us tonight in reference to the angels. So let me introduce him. This is Thomas Knights Templar. Welcome, Tommy.
Thanks, Mary, for having me on.
And tell us about yourself, which probably everybody recognizes you from your show.
Yes.
So
I'm the producer of, I almost forgot the name of my show, God's Way YTVY. And it's on Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Channel 79 if you have Spectrum, or Channel 35 if you have FiOS. We range on a various amount of topics. Okay,
yeah.
You are a frequent guest on the show.
I have
She's
been.
our resident angel that comes in and sits in with us. I'm also a healer, and that's what I do. I counsel people. I'm a healer, and that's.
Well, you're saying that very lightly, Tommy.
Well.
Okay, you're saying that very, very lightly. I know the experiences that you've had,
Yes.
and the way, and you and I have had so many conversations about your working with the angels.
With the
They're
angels.
constantly around you, and you're a man of tremendous faith.
I don't go
Yes.
anywhere without them.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, whenever even in my day-to-day, wherever I travel, I always have Michael, the Archangel, Uriel, the Archangel, Raphael, and I have Gabriel, excuse me, and I have Metatron, or Metatron as I call him, and yeah, I knew you were going to look at me for that one.
I call him Metatron.
All right. And
Right.
it just sounds like he's a transformer when you use that name, but and Sandalphon from below. And this is my protection grid that I keep around me at all times.
So they're around you,
They're around
right?
me. They're around
yes.
me all the time.
Okay.
All right. That is a very wise thing to do, surround yourself with the angels and archangels.
And how would someone do that? I'm only asking you for the
Well,
audience.
the layman who's just starting or getting interested in perhaps ascending, or start the ascension,
Okay.
would have to ask the angels to come into their lives, the angels and the archangels. Why? Because he has to surrender is free will, because you have a free will to accept and not to. They were created to be man's helper here on earth, all right? And it's up to you to accept them,
Absolutely.
you know? And if you don't accept
Absolutely.
them, then, you know, then they're not going to know who you are, all right? You have your guardian angels who are with you at all times, all right? You contact them. Tell them, I accept you into my life, all right? I surrender my free will, and I ask you to enter my life and help me and guide me towards being, you know, a better person, having a better life, and basically going through this life without blinders on.
And they come right away.
They come right away.
Immediately.
Right away.
I mean, it's
Immediately.
instant.
Immediately.
Before you can blink your eyes.
That's right.
They're there. So why don't you explain, though, because you were saying Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, and Gabriel, and Raphael, and Sandalphon, and Metatron.
Okay.
Could you explain to the audience why in particular, and that's my group too, I gotta tell you, but could you explain to them why you choose them?
I choose them because of the enlightenment and power of those particular angels for my particular needs.
Right.
Okay? There are a lot of other angels like Jophiel, Haniel, Azrael, Ariel, Jeremiah, Athena, Melchizedek.
You could go on.
I could go on and on and on and on and on.
Right?
Barakael. Right? I
Yeah.
could go on. You know, I call on them for individual things that their expertise is in. You know, all archangels can do everything that the other one can, but they specialize on certain things. Like Michael is the archangel of protection, the archangel of police, of soldiers, of the military, right?
Yes.
He's a military man. He's an angel. That's the.
He's a warrior.
He's the first knight of God.
He
Okay?
really is.
Archangel Michael, you see him depicted many times having Lucifer with his foot on his throat and a spear about to impale him.
Right.
All right? Lucifer was also an angel of light, but he's a fallen angel. Okay? So he was given dominion over this earth for 1,000 years, or whatever it is, 10,000 years, whatever it was. All this reign is coming to an end now, because the light is shining through now, and the veil is very, very thin, and the ascension process is on. People are awakening every single day.
Yes.
And it's the most important thing that you start the ascension process, because how many times do you want to repeat this merry-go-round that you're on?
No.
You know, so.
But Michael is right behind us,
Yes.
on the set. There he is, magnificent.
Yes.
He's the warrior. He's so strong. And so, you had shared with me
Oh, yeah.
something that happened to you. This was only, a week or two ago this happened to you?
2 weeks ago, this is what? Right in the very beginning of February.
Yeah, so it's
And-
like almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
At nighttime, I go out of my body and I go visiting various people who have illnesses, and I work at them, on them, in their homes at nighttime. I connect my energy to theirs and I go to them. It is at that time, while I was doing this, Aldefina, who is the co-host with me on the show, and she was promised a fur coat by this person that she had met, and the person had passed away. So I went with her, and we drove up to this beautiful mountainside vista with valleys, mountains, and this tremendous home, 3-car garage. The house was huge. I mean, from the front, you would say it's well over 7,000 square feet.
That's big.
That's very big.
That's really
Okay.
big.
And
Yeah.
she went up to the person told her, the caretaker told her that the front door would be open to go in there and get the coat that she promised her. So while she was going in there, I looked into the garage. It was open, and I was drawn to it. And when I went in there, as soon as I got inside, I was looking around. I got attacked by demons. So I pulled out my sword, my Excalibur.
And can you explain that to
Okay.
the audience?
The
What you mean
Excalibur
by
sword
that?
is the sword of Michael that was given to me. All right, it's given to many people at certain levels of the ascension. All right, this is to protect yourself. This is to rid yourself of these low energy demonic beings and other things and situations that come along, entities that are attached to people in daily life, and even that try to infiltrate your home. They just get rid of them. And so I pulled out that sword, and I did battle with them, and they were hissing and scratching and biting, and I mean, I was giving them a beating, and
Yes.
finally, after about what seemed to be 10 minutes of fighting these things, it was over, and I turned around and I started to walk back up the driveway towards the truck.
Right.
As I was going up there, I saw Adafina come out of the house, and she's carrying the coat, and she's walking up, and she turns and she looks at me, and she sees that I'm all disheveled and everything else, and her face just changed. When I turned around, there was this huge black entity that was at least 30 feet tall.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and being a First Knight of God representative as a Templar, I reached for my sword and I pulled my sword to go back to do battle. And I was tired. And at this time, as I did that,
Oh, my goodness.
all of a sudden, a hand came down, like it was almost like the shade of a cloud, but it was a hand, grabbed me and Aldefina and cupped us like this, and the other one came down like this,
Woo!
and it was like, all it could be explained like an atomic bomb blast.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything was white out for minutes. I couldn't see a thing. And then when the light finally, vaporized and it was able to see
Yes.
the mountains, they were telling me that everything Michael did, he purified the land all along the Southwest. They kept on saying to me, bigger than the state of Texas, bigger than the state of Texas. From what I see, it's from the Florida,
Yes.
basically, from like, say, around roughly the Mason-Dixon line, all the way across to
When you
California.
say purified, what does
Purified,
that mean for?
That means
Our
that
audience.
the evil that has become this land, has been removed from that portion.
Wonderful.
All right, has been removed from that portion. All right, I certainly expect that to happen for the northern half of the country.
Yes.
And I hope that has happened soon, because I've seen way too much hatred every single day, and we're bombarded with this. I mean,
know.
people watch the TV, and they believe verbatim all the nonsense. They don't even think for themselves. Can this possibly be true? They don't even try to research it to find out the real truth. They don't.
Kind of
They're
like
just-
lambs.
They're sheep that follow.
Right.
This happened in World War
Little
II.
lambs, yeah.
When they let a certain bunch of people, have their own way, giving them countries and all of this, appeasing them. And we have a country of many appeasers that appease our enemies at the cost of our own people.
Unfortunately, that's true, but I really
That's why
do
we need
feel
Michael now more than ever.
people are waking up to that, I feel.
Well,
Don't you feel that way?
Yes. The tide is turning.
I really believe
The
that.
tide of all this sensationalist and all this nonsense that's been seen on TV, and I can't watch it. All these
No.
people who are nothing but elitist, and zillionaires, and so have the nerve to tell you how to live their life when they don't live it like you do.
Well, I've shared with you that what I
Yes.
do is that I record the news in the morning so that I can fast forward through it.
I go to the
and
weather, the
not
sports,
to
and
watch the
goodbye.
weather. Yeah, I watch the weather, and that's it.
That-
That's
and-
why
and-
this.
and
That's
that's
why
it.
that's why I DVR the news.
That's why tonight, we were talking about Archangel Michael, but
Yes.
Archangel Chamuel is very, very much needed at this time.
Absolutely, and this is Chamuel.
Yes.
I brought Chamuel tonight, and this is Archangel Chamuel, and from my collection. I think you guys have seen her, before. Angels are neither masculine or feminine, but this is the angel of love, and I thought it was so fitting to
Yeah.
bring Chamuel.
On Valentine's Day.
Yeah, for Valentine's
go.
Day. But you're absolutely right. That's what we need. We need love. And also, Chamuel is the angel of peace.
That's right.
And joy. And,
We need,
music,
I did the same thing before.
singing.
We need a revival. We need a revival. With so many institutions and so many separatist groups that are trying to remove God from everything, they don't realize that they're doing nothing but hurting themselves and hurting this country. This country was founded on God. Finally, we're moving in the right direction of bringing that back.
I believe so.
Okay. Finally, we made a move to move our embassy to Jerusalem, where it belongs.
Yes.
Okay, because that's the capital. All right. Every single nation on earth that has turned its back on Israel
Oh, yes.
has fallen on bad times.
Oh, yes.
We were about to do the same thing under the previous couple of administrations.
Well, that's why I feel
Yeah.
God changed
Yeah,
that.
he changed the dynamic.
You know,
All right.
on your show,
Yes.
in January, when I was doing the astrological predictions for the year,
Yes.
I talked about Donald Trump's
Yes.
chart. I really feel that he will be reelected.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that again.
Landslide, you
Okay?
heard it here.
Yeah.
Landslide victory.
Yeah, and there was not going to be an impeachment.
No.
But it's because I really feel that the man was impinged upon by God in
Yes,
order to straighten
absolutely.
out this
Absolutely.
chaos,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and destruction.
We
And
had one party that was moving towards a one-party system in the entire country. Every state in this country that has a one-party system is failing, including this one. Okay, including this one. With the chaos that's going now, because you have an inept mayor and you have a governor, okay, who is out of his mind, releasing hardened criminals. They cannot be, they're arrested and released the same day for heinous crimes, assaults, murders, this. And they expect them to come back because they're going to give them Met tickets. You know, really? Come on. You know, you have to put the law back in the judge's hands. I think there's some kind of conflict of interest there where a state body overrules the what you call it, what am I thinking? The judges, you know, the
judicial.
I couldn't say it. The judicial.
Usually I'm the one who can't say a word, right? And you usually help me. That's funny.
Judicial.
Okay.
Right. They should not be allowed to be able to do that. You know, the three powers. You know, you got the Senate, you got the House of Representatives, and you got the judicial. All three of them make up the government of the United States. One can't oversee the other, although one party did try to do that as of late. But now, these states that consider themselves progressive, okay, are throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Right? They want to enable all of this. This is free and that's free. Nothing is free. Because, and these college kids, they think they're going to get college for free. They will. But guess what? Your mother and father are going to be paying for your education through their taxes, your grandmother, your grandfather.
Right.
And then you're going to be doing the same thing for others. And then they want to give college to illegals. Not to say that people shouldn't come here to be sanctuary, okay? But to give them rights over American citizens is outrageous. Outrageous, and that's going to be rectified. Okay, this governor and this mayor have got to go. They have villainized the police in favor of the criminal.
Well,
That's why you need Michael now more than ever.
exactly.
I hope that sword comes down in the Northeast real fast.
Can you explain to the audience, in case they don't understand, about the Knights Templar?
Okay, the Knights Templar, as far as I am told, as not by what is in the books, not all of that.
Because nobody really,
know,
right?
The Templars actually were considered the first bank, world bank, because the Templars went on crusades, and they went into crusades into Jerusalem and in Israel, and they fought against the Muslim hordes and all of that stuff. And then they're said to have been the ones that found the Grail.
Yes.
Okay.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. Okay, they found the secrets of Christ. All right, and it was removed from there. Also, the riches that were stored there, and they came back to France after the Crusades, and they came back to France, and this is the what it's been done as far as in literature. Okay, as far as I've been told by
Right.
my angels and
No,
God.
I understand.
Okay, it's two different things. All right? Yes, that's all true. The King of France and the Pope at that time were very, very wicked. All right? And they plotted to plunder and kill the Templars in order to take their bounty so that the King of France wouldn't have to pay any more homage to them and pay them money. So they conspired to kill these men. And they killed them in the most vile ways, burning them alive for heresy. Meanwhile, the heretics were the ones doing it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Those were the heretics.
Yeah.
And they're still the heretics
Yeah,
now.
I was going to say kind of like, okay. Kind of like still today.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's why, because your name, Thomas Knights Templar.
Yes.
Right. And when you're talking about pulling out your sword and the way that you so strongly...
My sword is the sword
your
of
protection.
Michael. Yeah. It's the sword of Michael. It's the same sword that Merlin and King Arthur pulled out of the stone.
Yes.
It is that sword.
So there you go.
Okay. It's that sword that does mighty and great things, and I wield that sword whenever it's necessary. Okay? Michael, for me, has been an absolute godsend joy in my life. Yeah, I mean, I've called upon him for every single thing. I mean, a simple thing
so
is
strong.
I was driving home and my truck stalled out and it would not restart. So I sat and I got quiet and I meditated and I called on Michael and I said to him, I need you here right now. I said, start this truck, let me get it home, and tomorrow I'll bring it to the mechanic. Boom, started right up.
There you go.
Got home, the next morning, boom, started up again. I took it to the mechanic and got it repaired.
There you go.
You
there
know?
you go. Tremendous strength.
And then the mechanic said to me, he goes, I don't know how this truck is running. He goes, all your spark plugs were fouled and shot, and your wires were no good. They were all arced. He goes, I don't know how this truck is running.
There's so many unexplainable things that happen to people, and, you know, it really is the work of the angels.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness, because, you know, the work that I do with the angels and the clients that come to see me, the stories that I hear about the angels, it's just divine. It's miraculous.
I call upon the angels.
Miraculous.
If I'm doing a healing, like when I'm traveling at nighttime, that's when I do the healing work. I just had somebody...
When you leave your body.
When I leave my body.
Right, and you do astral flight.
Yes, and I go to their homes and whatever it is. And
right.
I do what I have to do, you know. I pray over them. Sometimes I lay with them, you know, and I hold them and give them the energy to them. You know, it's the light and grace of Christ that I put into the Holy Spirit. And I call them, again, that word, the specific angels of that malady. I give them a prayer. As a matter of fact, I sent the prayer to somebody last night who just had some kind of issue with a cancer.
Was that the prayer that you had sent to me when I was sick?
Yes. That prayer is powerful and that prayer works.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
oh, I'm so grateful. Do you remember how grateful?
I have people who are going for testing. And, you know, doctor sees this and so I have to send you for tests and stuff like that. And I give them that prayer. And they put in where it's applicable their specific issue they're going for.
Yes.
And they go there, it's not there. And I'm the poster boy for this.
Yes, you are.
You know, on Staten Island,
you really are.
A very respected surgeon, orthopedist, is Dr. John Riley. Okay? And Dr. Riley has done many surgeries on me, my knees, my elbow, not my elbow, my shoulders. And I needed my left shoulder operated on. He did my right. And he did an MRI, and it came up with a tear in the bursa and a tear in the rotator cuff. It was there. I had everybody praying for me, Claudia in Canada, and all the healers that I know, including myself, were working on it. I go there, and I'm sitting in this little thing, and they're putting in the IV for what they can knock you out with. And I'm looking at the nurse's station, and I called in all the angels. And you know when you see a highway in the summertime, you see the waves of the heat?
Yes.
All of a sudden you see the waves coming up off a tile floor.
That energy.
Yeah.
Energy.
I got as loose as Jell-O. I would have went to sleep right there. Didn't need that stuff.
Wow.
So I go on the gurney, and go into the operating table, and the guy says, he goes, you're going to count back. He goes, I'm going to put the medicine in now, and you go to sleep. I said, I'm already asleep. Goodbye. And I went out. When I came out of surgery, all right, Dr. Riley was talking to my wife. And he says, I can't explain it. He goes, I went in there, couldn't find the tears. There was no tears in there. Had a little bit of arthritis. We removed that.
Divine.
The very next day, I did this.
Divine intervention.
When I had my right done, I couldn't do that for about a month. You know,
Well,
so-
you know, Tommy, that, as I'm a healer also, as you very well know, and I know Claudia too, and, we all help each other. This is what we do.
We have our network.
Because,
Yeah.
we have our network
network.
to help each other because as healers, we need other healers many times to
help us.
us. Right?
A lot of times you're too close to the situation, like as a healer with a
Yes.
family member. All right? You're too close to the situation. You crazy love that person.
Right.
And sometimes it clouds your, I won't say clouds your ability.
Mm-hmm.
You always have your ability, okay? But sometimes your emotions are too much.
Right.
When you come from the emotional thing, you're susceptible for things to happen.
It can, it can get in the
negative
way.
thinking. You don't
Right.
want to think that way.
It can
Okay.
weaken your
Your
ability
perspective.
to,
So what I do is when those thoughts creep in, half the time when I know they're not my thoughts, I take Excalibur, I burn the thoughts out, I get rid of the ones who sent it here, and I get rid of the ones who sent them to do it. And now I take them all the way back to the beginning of time. So they no longer exist and never have. Okay? I speak them out of existence.
Yes.
Done.
And you can
Done.
speak
Done.
them out of existence.
right.
You can speak anything
That's right.
out of existence or into existence. And that's why people have to be careful.
I'll give you an example. The average person that goes through life, gets up in the morning, showers, shaves, goes to work, does his job, comes home, sits down, has a little dinner, changes his clothes, puts on his PJs and watches TV. Okay? What has he done with his day but waste time? Yes, he's being paid for it, but his time is outside of there. He's there all the time. He goes there and he's like a mouse in a maze going in one direction and one direction only, thinking that this is the only thing for him or for her.
Right.
Okay? There is much more, God didn't make
So
you
much more.
God didn't make you to be okay. God made you to be his magnificence in you. Okay? He made you to be his magnificence. How could you be anything less than that?
Because he's within us.
That's right. God lives in here with you. Call on your I am presence. Know that you are a child of God and go forward in this world with the blessings of God. Don't sit behind and be in the bleachers when you're supposed to be in the forefront. All right? Remember, you are a child of God. Jesus said to his disciples, "Didn't I tell you that you are all God? And far greater things than I have done, you shall do." And that reads true to today for you. And all you need to do is remember who you are. Believe it, know it, act like it, and be it.
Because I am that I am.
Is the name of God.
Thank you.
Is the name of
Thank
God
you.
given to Moses
So
on the
what
mountain.
does that say?
That's the most powerful
I
things.
am
Anytime you
that
would
I
take
am.
I am and put a negative connotation, you're actually taking God's name in vain. Now, for those of you that are Catholic out there, you know about taking God's name in vain. Because how many of you say, God, and what do you think you're doing? Okay? What do you think? You're cursing God. So if you say, I am sick, that's taking God's name in vain. Because you're a child of God. There's no sickness and disease in God. There cannot be any in you. But you have to know it. You have to believe it in here.
That's the key.
Okay? And
But that's
every
the key.
day, do that. Remember who you are. Okay?
And believe it.
And believe it. And believe it because you are a child of God. You're not just here to go through 80 years, 50 years, and you're done. That's not how it works. You're here on a mission. And your mission is the ascension. And the ascension will put you on the path to help others. Rule number 1, all right? I call it the Prime Directive, is love others as God loves you.
That's true.
If you cannot love yourself, then you'll never be able to do that. And the other one is to be in service to your fellow man. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. If he's the king, would a king in any country right now wash the feet of his people? No. No, because they're above that. They're elitist. They mean nothing. because they will never be kings in God's home, in his mansions in heaven. Learn it, know it, believe it, and live it.
Well, I wanted to also be able to share with our audience about your relationship with Padre Pio, because I really feel that is absolutely tremendous. I mean, I got to tell you, I really feel, and we have a picture of Padre Pio. And Brian, if you could put the picture of Padre Pio.
If you could do a split screen, if I had
Okay.
my beard longer, that's my twin.
Yes, yes, you look just like him.
I've had a lot of people.
I know. I mean, of course, the beard, you know,
well, his beard is long. I shaved mine down.
I know,
You know.
but seriously, and I have always felt that about you.
I wanted to go to a shrine and grow the beard longer,
Oh,
and go there and like walk through the gardens where nobody knows it.
oh my
Okay.
goodness! Oh my goodness! Yeah, there's a beautiful shrine in Bardo,
Pennsylvania, yeah,
Bardo,
Bardo.
Pennsylvania that I went to, and that picture that we just showed.
Right here. You see that
Yep.
bracelet? Can you zoom in on it, Brian?
Yep. Oh.
That bracelet was given to me from Mary when she went to the shrine. Now, when
Padre Pio, because very fitting.
you know Josephine.
Yes, very, yes.
Josephine Perron is a very gifted,
Yes, she is.
very gifted angel person, medium.
Yes, she is.
I walked into her house and there's a big picture of Padre Pio on the wall. And I walk in, she goes, "Oh my God, you know who you look like?" I go, so I look at her, I go, "Yeah, Billy Joel or Sean Connery. I get it all the time, right?" She says, "No, you look like him."
Yeah,
and I
it's
look
the
over there
truth.
and it's Padre Pio. I go, now there are three.
Tommy, when I was at that shrine in Pennsylvania, which is a beautiful place. Oh, you can look it up online. It's in Bardo, Pennsylvania. It's worth the trip.
It is
Let me
absolutely
tell you.
worth the trip.
But when I was there and I kept seeing all those pictures of Padre Pio, I was like, oh my goodness! I felt like you were there with me. We also have now, in reference to Padre Pio, can you explain a little bit in reference to why Padre Pio he's a wonderful healer.
He is.
He is outstanding.
Padre Pio. I'm what they call an aspect of Padre Pio.
Yep.
Okay, Padre Pio, he does intercession for God. That was his thing. He was a farmer. His parents were farmers. He was born as a farmer, and because he had to help out on the farm, he never had formal schooling until he went to the friary. And at 15 years old, and they started to teach him and bring him up to snuff.
Right.
All right. And then basically after that, he got drafted into the Italian army to go for World War I. He was a medic. Okay. After the war, he went into the friary again, and he was ordained a priest. I think, let me see. I have it somewhere. He was drafted, I think he was, in 1918, by the way, before he was in the thing, he developed stigmata. Stigmata
There we go.
is the wounds of Christ, the one in the ribs, the hands, and the feet. Okay, and Padre Pio would bleed from that, and it was very painful because he was living the pain that Jesus went through. Okay, his healing is very, very powerful because he's an intercessor with the blood of Christ on his hands and on his feet. All right, so always, say prayers to Padre Pio when there's illness. Say prayers to Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael, Padre Pio, okay? I call on Zachiel a lot. I didn't mention him before,
Yes.
but Archangel Zachiel is the angel that brought me into this world. He took me to show me my mansions, and he's going to take me out of this world one of
He's
these
your
days.
guardian angel.
Oh, he is.
That's
He
really who your guardian
Plus,
angel
he's really
is.
cool. He loves to be on
Yeah.
the seventh ray, the violet flame with Saint Germain.
Yeah, and he
Okay.
loves amethyst.
Yes.
A piece of amethyst right over there. And yeah, absolutely. But Padre Pio, in reference to the stigmata, it's very important.
Yes,
because he used to wear gloves to cover the wounds. And Brian, do you have that picture of Padre Pio's gloves? There they are. You see they're encased there. And I was lucky enough when I went to Pennsylvania to the shrine, at certain hours you're allowed to go and actually hold them in your hands, and the healing is tremendous.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Absolutely.
tremendous. It's just wonderful. It's real. Let's just put it that way.
Yes,
Okay,
it
it's real. It's true.
Yes, it is.
But now,
You know,
could you
before
tell-
he
Go ahead.
he had stigmata.
Thanks, Brian.
He had stigmata for 50 years, and a few days before his death in 1968, the stigmata went away. The wounds of Christ went away. 3-4 days later, he was gone from a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So they were taking him home.
Yeah, taking him
He
home.
did his servitude.
Absolutely.
He did his servitude to his fellow man.
Oh, but the
The
healing.
stigmata was a little drastic, I must admit, but he
Yes.
did his servitude. That was a man of God. That was a man of God. All right.
Well, can I tell you something? I'm going to just say it. As you know, I hadn't been to the studio in like a year and a half, right? When I was sick, and during that period of time, I had asked your help for healing, and you gave it to me very, very beautifully. You would send me healing, and that was around the same time, right after that, that I was going to. I went to the shrine of Padre Pio. I just want to say the conjunction of the healing that you had sent to me and Padre Pio, I really feel that that's what, I mean, it's absolutely miraculous. I have to tell you, I mean, my family really thought that I wasn't going to be here anymore. You know that.
I
know
knew.
that,
Well,
Tom.
first of all, I knew that you were going to be here, and the
Yeah,
only
but
person who
you
could
were
have made
worried.
that other scenario true would have been yourself.
Absolutely, and you had to
So I had to
remind me of
change
that.
your way you looked at things
Yeah.
and make you realize that you're not in control. God is.
So even though I'm a very highly developed throughout my life metaphysical person, I still needed the help from someone else. And Tommy helped me and some other healers that I know, but I have to tell you, I really feel that it was the combination with the work that you do with Archangel Michael and all your angels, and also with the conjunction of Padre Pio. That's what I really believe. I really believe that that's seriously what healed me, and my belief in Christ. And yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
We what the heck was that? We have that innate connection, you know. I know that in other lives we had to know each other. There's no two ways about that. We had to know each other because the connection was very quick.
Right.
It was very quick. It's like that with me with a lot of people, you know, like even Bobby out there.
Right.
Hello, Bob.
Hi, Bobby.
Even Bobby out there, the connection was very, very quick. You know, it's like we knew each other for 60 years.
Yeah.
It was only 59.
Yeah, well, you know, he was part of your soul group from before. That's all.
Yes. I see Bobby as being a Roman centurion at a time
I could see that.
when I was there. Okay? And as far as in what aspect or what,
Right.
probably as maybe, a prophet. Because prophecy is one of my gifts. You know? And
Yes,
as you
I
know,
know
I
that.
had many prophetic dreams that were kind of scary, you know? Because when I see them firsthand. Like I'm sitting there within the what's going on. And I didn't like what I was seeing. And I didn't like what I was seeing from the amount of hatred in this world. Not only this country, but in this world.
But we can change that.
We can change that. We are changing that.
Yes.
We are changing
Yes.
that. Those
Yes.
of us who have risen to high levels in the ascension, the Christ levels and things like that, have been doing many, many earthworks, and there's many Christ that have not developed yet. They don't know they're Christ, but they are. Okay? Just by being in their presence, people can be healed. I had people say, you know, tell me that they were in my presence and they were healed. You know, how many times do people come to the show to get healed?
Exactly.
You know, so
Exactly.
have you seen it?
I have.
You know?
Yes,
and,
I
and
have.
you felt it.
Yes, yes, I have.
Yeah, so-
Yes, I have. And, you know, I know when it's real. And it's real. You're real. Let's just put it that way. Okay. You had said to me now also, though, that you wanted to talk a little bit about St. Francis.
Well, St. Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of the animals and animal
Yes.
causes.
Yes.
Our next show, which will be next Friday on the 21st, is going to be on the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not only on your domestic pets and things like that, but the wholesale slaughter of cattle, pigs, chickens, rabbits, you name it, all right, for the consumption of a hungry nation and a hungry world.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And that's what it's going to be on. And St. Francis of Assisi, okay, let me see if I get his name correct.
Go ahead.
His Italian name
Oh, yeah.
is Francesco Di Pietro Bernardone. I got his
Very
name right.
good.
That's his
Very
name.
good.
Okay? St. Francis of Assisi is a little monk, frail monk, but there's greatness in small packages. Don't worry if your stature is small, if your stature is large, if you are disabled, or whatever it is, you are God's perfect work in you. You are His magnificence, and claim that every single day of your life. When you look into that mirror, you're going to shave, you're going to go do your hair, you're going to, I don't know what you're going to do in front of a mirror, but so long as you do that and you claim your magnificence and your God presence in you, you start the ascension. Do that. Do that.
And there you go.
And
There
that's
you
it.
go. You know, my guardian angel is Archangel Uriel.
Uriel, a favorite of
Uriel.
mine too. You know, he's a
Yeah.
favorite of mine too.
Yeah.
He comes to me. I see how this is going with the twinkling silver?
Absolutely.
That's when I know when he's around.
You're right about that. You
Yeah.
know why? Because what Archangel Uriel does is instills the Holy Spirit within the hearts of
He's also
man and
he's
women.
he also does
Very strong.
Yeah, he's very strong. He's
He follows Michael
he's-
right into
yeah,
battle.
Right into battle.
Yeah, right behind
he's
him.
Michael's.
Right
He's
hand.
Michael's right hand.
Your right hand. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
That sword, by the way, that I told you about, Excalibur, is basically me raising my right hand, which is the right hand of the Father, through Michael, to me, and to others that are, have the sword of Michael as a gift. I also have the staff of Moses, and a few other gifts that were given to me that I know of. All right. So if you see me down by the ocean, I'm going to part the water because I want to go out and get some clams fresh out of the ocean. That I was using the wand, but no, that doesn't happen. I was kidding, God.
I was thinking about, too, the fact that, this is Valentine's Day and the angel of love is Archangel Chamuel.
Chamuel. Favorite of mine.
Yes, and you were telling me that
Yeah.
when I was telling you that I was going to be bringing Chamuel for the show tonight, and you said that. And you know what I find magnificent about that? Chamuel enjoys singing. And you have such a beautiful singing voice that I've heard. I mean, remarkable, beautiful. It's a blessing. It's a gift. Seriously, Tommy, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm telling you, you
Well, I
really
didn't want
do.
to go there.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. And so that's interesting how you said to me earlier that one of the first angels you were drawn to was Archangel Chamuel.
The thing that drew me to him in the first part
Love.
about it is love. It's the
Yeah.
part of love.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we always strive to be loved.
Yes.
Everybody needs to be loved, okay? And I tell you, when you are with your family or you're out and you have friends or, guy friends, tell them that you love them. I don't look at it as if it's some kind of, I'm a man, I can't tell another man I love him. That's bull. That's bull. That's what you're put on this earth to do, is to love your fellow man.
Yes.
The problem is, as we become so elite, everybody has become a number and not a human being.
Because
Okay.
your fellow man is a part
That's
of
right.
you.
Pay it forward. Pay it forward. You think
Well,
this?
part
You
of
think
you.
that this is who we are? This is nothing but the envelope you came wrapped in. You are spirit having a human experience, not the other way around. Understand that. Okay? All the trinkets and little baubles that you get in this life mean jack. They don't mean a damn thing. Okay? What means everything is the riches that you make in heaven. All right? Start on that today. Start on it today. Anything else?
Anything else? Well, we have to talk a little bit about Metatron because of the power.
Metatron?
Metatron.
Metatron.
Okay. So how
Listen,
do you...
he told me Metatron. Okay.
Who said that? I never said Metatron.
No, it was the Archangel.
Oh, okay.
He's the crown chakra Archangel.
Yes, he is. And
And-
that's why, the other thing, that's why I wanted to talk about him.
Sure.
Okay, even though the last show that I did with Stephen, we were talking about Metatron quite a bit. But,
Well, you got to remember, Stephen is an expert on the Kabbalah
yeah,
and on the sacred geometries.
right.
That is not exactly my suit, but the angels are.
No, but when you, this is why I'm bringing him up. Because initially, in the beginning of the show, you were talking about the way you surround yourself with specific angels.
Yeah.
Okay?
He does
so
too.
Metatron is right up here.
Yeah.
When you're surrounding yourself and you envision and you call upon the angels and you bring them around you, Metatron is here, right? Saddlephon is at the foot.
Well, when I put it this way, when I'm surrounded, okay,
Yeah.
Metatron is at the top. He's at the crown
Yes.
chakra. That's the energy of God coming into
Exactly.
your body. Okay, my right hand is Archangel Raphael, the healer. Okay, my left hand is the messenger of God, Gabriel.
Right.
Okay, and my back is Uriel. Okay, who is
Michael.
Michael? You know,
Yeah.
he's Michael-like, and he has other functions too.
Yes.
All right.
They
But
all have
They all
several.
have several different
Right.
functions, and any one of them can step in for either one.
Right.
You know, so
But that ends up with the sacred, that ends up with the shape of sacred geometry. That's my point,
one
the way
thing,
that,
one thing in that,
a lot of
one
people
thing
don't
in that,
realize
that,
that.
battle that I had with the
Yeah,
Antidotes, right?
which I'm
one
telling
thing
you,
is
Tommy.
that when that battle was over, once the air cleared, Michael did say, "I have weapons you have not seen yet."
Wow.
So if that was a depiction of just one of the weapons, he has even more powerful ones than that. Maybe I don't want to see that, you know, because that was like the atomic blast. It was such bright white light, I couldn't see Aldefina, couldn't see anything. But you had to see the landscape afterwards.
Amazing.
You had to see the landscape afterwards.
Absolutely
Everything was
amazing.
glistening, like a fresh morning dew with the sun on it.
Yeah.
Everything, the mountains would glisten. Everything was glistening with the little sparkles on them. You know, so it was
What an experience.
it was an experience. I woke up
I
from
can't
that.
even really put words around that.
But, you know why? I wish I had somebody who was an artist and explain to them and have them paint that.
Yes.
You know, these hands, you know, they could draw, but they cannot paint. You know, maybe a house or a wall or something like that, but it won't paint, you know, somebody's picture. And the depiction of this home, I see it clearly in my head whenever we talk about it. You know, but to me, there's been many times where the angels have stepped in and touched me, and that is validation of not only what I do, but of what they do for me.
Yes.
You know, it's that validation. You'll find things, you know, many people say, you know, I started to do what you said, Tom, and a funny thing happened. This happened. That's not a funny thing. That's not a
No.
coincidence. That is called synchronicity. When you get aligned with your angels align situations to make it better for you. Okay? That's what they do. Those are called synchronicities. All right? Be aware of that. And be aware how many times during the course of the day you say a negative word after I am. Okay? Write it down in a little pad. I guarantee you'll probably do it about 50 to 100 times a day. All right?
Because you're manifesting
because
it.
not only are you manifesting it, but you don't
Creating it.
realize the power of your own words.
Right.
You know, you're on people who tell
Creation.
you, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. Walk away from them. Get away. Because they're going to have bad luck all their life. Oh, I'm beyond help from God. God can't help me. Just pray for me. No. Pray for them and get away from them. Because they're what you call modern day martyrs. Okay? Don't be surrounded by martyrs. Be surrounded by people who are like you on the quest for ascension. The end. That's all you have to know.
Well, yeah, but lots of times in people's families, okay, they have people around them that
That
can
are like that.
create. Right.
That are like
right.
that.
Right.
I don't like that. I shield myself from any of that stupidity.
Exactly. Okay. See, and you constantly walk with that shield around you. I do too.
Listen, the
and
other
that's why it
day-
doesn't bother me.
The other day I was in a restaurant in the city. I went to go see an Italian group called Ivolo. They were great
Yeah.
at Radio City. I was sitting in that restaurant. The energy in that restaurant was disgusting. And it's a 5-star restaurant. Big buku bucks in there. And let me tell you, I sat there like I was so uncomfortable the whole time. I couldn't wait to get outside of that place. You know, when I went out the first time and I came back in,
Right.
I cleared it.
Okay.
So I can sit and actually enjoy a meal. But up until I did that, it was I can't go to baseball games no more.
You actually cleared it.
I clear it. I have to clear before I go. I hate the mall, you know, because the energy is just terrible, you know. So
Well, what that is the negative energy from a lot of the negativity that people carry
people
around.
with them, you know.
Exactly. That they carry around
That's right.
with them. And they can eliminate that. There is a way to do that.
There is.
Right?
There is.
And that's with allowing the light of your angels to surround you and of the Holy
See, a lot
Spirit.
of people think that just by saying the words "I am" is not going to do anything. I assure you
It is.
that it is going to do something for you when you learn how to use it. I guess it's goodbye time, huh?
Yeah, I guess it
That
is.
hour
How
went
did
quick.
that go so quick, Tommy?
All right.
We had so much to talk about. Thank you for sharing
right,
so much.
I
It was
give you a
wonderful.
hug. A virtual
boy, we'll
hug.
fall off. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming, Tommy.
Thanks for having me
Thank
on.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
And you can go to my website, hopehypnosis.com, and just view the newsletter for any of the astrological information or lots of information on angels
And upcoming shows.
and all the upcoming shows, and also YouTube. All the shows are on YouTube, which is this show, Astrology, Angels, and More, and also your show, God's Way YTVY.
We will soon in the spring gonna do a tuning into your angels. That was my first show here.
Oh yeah,
So Claudia's coming down from Canada.
I can't wait
It's
to
gonna
see
be
her
great.
again.
Yeah.
I know.
I just got to set the date and time.
I
with
know. I
Kenny.
can't wait. Okay, thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day, and
Bye
many,
now.
many, many bright blessings to you.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.